welcome back, everyone. Episode 2 of The Athletic Edge. I'm Matthew Tupinger. This is Colton Gregory. You all saw what was going on in the first one, so we're rolling now. We're
Rolling
going.
with it, baby. This is it. This is the freaking first real episode, like real legit episode. Sorry, it's over Zoom. Matt had to go to town, leave me
Yes.
in Northern Kentucky, but it's okay. We're gonna do it. What we deal with. We have a little slideshow just kind of put in the background just to kind of go along everything. But Matt, do you want to kind of go over what we're gonna talk about today, or do you want me to do that?
Yeah. Actually, you can go ahead. I did the intro, so you go ahead.
Okay. All right. So we're kind of just gonna go over today. Just kind of we're first gonna talk about the top 100 rankings. Freaking crazy. Obviously, that's probably the biggest news coming out of the NFL right now. Is the NFL top 100 rankings, which if you don't know, it's just the players vote on a list of 100 players, and there was a lot of controversy towards this one. Definitely some stuff that me and Matt are going to talk about. We're going to talk about the training camp for the NFL, kind of early predictions, early feelings for us, and talk about our Bengals a little bit. We're also going to talk about offensive rookie of the year and defensive rookie of the year predictions for the NFL. Me and Matt like a lot of these rookies, so we just wanted to talk a little bit about that and kind of give our predictions toward that. Hopefully we're right, and hopefully it doesn't turn out like the not the NFL, the NBA finals, where we were completely wrong. We're also going to talk about how the Pac-12 is completely crumbling, and they're just probably not going to be a division, I would say, by 2025. Like, I mean, they're just everybody's running away from them. We're also going to talk about NKU basketball. We're going to talk about their trip over to Rome, which is actually really cool. I'm glad that NKU got to do that. It's probably a good experience for all of them. Also whipped up on some teams in some scrimmages. We're also going to talk about soccer teams. Their seasons are starting to kick off. They just had their first days of practices the other day. We're going to go through the schedule, kind of talk about some cool matchups there, maybe talk about some players there. Going to talk about finally what I wanted to talk about forever is we're going to move into NBA, talk about Dame Lillard trade news. Finally, dude still has not been traded yet. I don't know if he will be traded now. That's the thing. We're just going to talk about kind of updates on that. And then we're going to finish it off with probably the biggest sports thing of the week, I would say, is the Jose Ramirez and Tim Anderson fight in the MLB, and how literally J-Ram dropped Tim Anderson.
That was the
So
best fight of that day.
I think it was the best. Like, I think it was probably maybe the best thing that's happened in baseball all season. I mean, like, just because, like,
Yeah.
popularity wise, I mean, the fighting is what gets the views. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So
I was gonna say before I forget this.
okay.
It's about the Damian Lillard stuff.
Okay.
Did you happen to see the Twitter account that has been counting the days since Dame requested his trade to Miami?
Yeah.
We're sitting at like 40, 41 now, something like that.
It's ridiculous, and like I don't like because they told him to stop being so public with like
Yeah.
who he wanted to go to, so he stopped being public. But like now there's literally nothing. Like I don't know if he's just gonna ride it out with Portland. I don't know. Who knows?
Dude, I hope not. I'm gonna be pissed if that happens.
Yeah, who
But
knows? All
that's
right.
for later in the show.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. And also too, there's a lot of topics today, and if you wanted to slow it down and kind of take it bit by bit, or if you honestly don't care about the NFL as much and only want to listen to the NKU stuff, or only want to talk about, I don't know, listen about the fight, whatever. We're of course always gonna have the timestamps in the bottom, so you can just skip to whatever you want to listen to. But we're gonna go through everything, and we're
If
gonna
you
get
wanted to tune in just to see us, I appreciate that.
yes,
If you just want
yeah.
to
If
see
you
our cute
you just
happy
want to see,
faces,
yeah, because we're do you see these smiles? We're happy. We're happy. We're talking about this because we've been itching to talk about this stuff.
I've been fiending. I was foam. Actually, I just was foaming at the mouth before we started
Oh
recording.
God, really? You just had to like take a paper towel and wipe
Yeah,
it off really quick so nobody would
yeah.
see.
I was like, this is a bad look.
All right, so let's get right into these piece of crap rankings, in my opinion. The NFL top 100. So obviously we don't have a list. There wasn't a big enough list to. I mean, there's a few names back there that were on the list, but we
Mhm.
didn't have a big enough like picture to put all of them on there. So I'll add a link down to the description just for the full list of the top 100 if anybody wants to go and look through it while we're looking through it at the same time. But Matt, anything kind of all from the start that kind of we're gonna start from 100 and just go down the board. Anything that kind of pops off to you first off?
Um, I think it's kind of crazy, Devontae. I don't know because here's the thing. When I first saw a post, Devontae Smith's 100. I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
sit here and talk about every single player individually.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the show would probably be 7 hours long. But It was. I kind of had mixed feelings about it. I'm not a huge Devontae Smith fan. Like, I'm just not an Eagles fan. He's
Mm-hmm.
good. He's damn good. But like, I guess it was kind of crazy to me that he was 100, and it's like there were a lot of players above him that are exceptionally good. It's very tough to be a top 100 player in the league. But that one kind of surprised me a little bit. I thought he could have been a little bit higher. I mean, you could make the argument he's possibly a top 10 receiver in the league right now. He had like I think he had 1,100, damn near 1,200 yards, just a career high for him. He had 95 receptions, 7 touchdowns. I mean, it's just like you look at him and AJ Brown, and it's like AJ Brown. You could say he's better than him, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not a huge margin.
Yeah, the big thing with me is the thing that hurts my feelings is like, oh man, I know we have the Bengals bias, but like, dude, the fact that T Higgins is not on this list, and the fact that Devontae and Terry McLaurin right there at 94. I mean, there's
Yeah,
some good receivers, but like, man, I don't, I don't understand it. And also, the thing is too, this is what I don't understand too. All right, so their whole argument, which you'll see later, that of course Jalen Hurts was rated above Joe Burrow, and their whole excuse for that was that is because that was last year, not overall player, whatever. But you got DeAndre Hopkins at 90, who did
yeah,
nothing last year, and T Higgins was way better than him last year. Like, I'm not saying there's an argument there, obviously, that D Hop is better than T Higgins overall as a receiver, but if we're basing it on last year, which they're trying to argue, like, how is D Hop better than T Higgins last year?
right. Yeah,
And I also, and with the Devontae Smith, I don't feel like, I mean, obviously I'm a Bengals fan, so I watch a hell of a lot more than T Higgins than I do Devontae Smith, but I feel like I don't, I mean, I guess Devontae's good being there at 100. Like, I'm not mad with it, but I don't know. I'm just upset with a few other things on here that kind of makes me upset with that.
yeah, and I guess I don't know. I guess that's how I feel. Is like I I think Devontae Smith very much belongs to be in the top 100. I do think he should be a little bit higher, but I'm not saying like I'd put him up in 70, 60, 50. And I mean, that could just be
Definitely.
a casual take because I'm not an Eagles fan, but
Mm-hmm.
I I would probably bump him up maybe a couple spots. I wouldn't go crazy or anything like that. Another story, if you wouldn't mind me taking the lead on this one,
Take it
add
over.
another comment. T Law's 96, and which is pretty. I mean, it's good. You're still a top
Mm-hmm.
100 player. I think he's top 7 quarterback, definitely top 10 quarterback. I
Oh,
feel. I
I
feel
think I
he's
know
a
where
top
this
10
is
quarterback.
going. I think I know where this
You have Justin Fields above him.
is.
You have Tua above him, which Tua played great. In the games that Tua was available, he played damn good. But
Yeah.
keyword is available. I mean, he got the shit knocked out. I'm not trying to say that he was completely healthy all year. If we're being the spot that really gets me is Dak. Dak being above also Lamar, but also being above Trevor Lawrence. How
Yeah,
the
the
fuck are
Dak.
you gonna do that?
I know. I don't. I don't know. And dude, honestly, like, this is what I don't understand about the list. Okay, because like that's the thing. They're trying to argue like last year, right? Like, that's the thing though. I don't understand. They're so back and forth because like last year, my lights just flickered. Did you just see that?
I did see that.
Oh God, okay, we're being a demon joining the show.
He's gonna get
Actually.
abducted. Dude, he doesn't like our take. He's a Cowboys fan.
Oh shit, he's a Cowboys fan. Man, good. I hope he haunts me. He wouldn't do shit to me. But last year Tom Brady was the number one player. Like,
Yeah.
so, but Tom Brady was not the number one player last year. Like, that's, I just, I don't understand what they're trying to get at with this list. And like Geno Smith being at 77, like, I know he had a great year last year, but like, what are we trying to do? Are we talking about last year or are we talking about overall? Because Dak Prescott played like a bag of shit last year. So
Right.
the fact that he is 56 is just nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. I trying to get their stats from last year pulled up. But it's It's pretty crazy to me how you can have a guy who probably hurt his team more than helped his team in the playoffs. Not just like a couple spots above, miles and miles above a quarterback who
I know.
played his best season by far. And you're like, nah, I think Dak's better. What? That's just, it blows my mind. It's like Trevor Lawrence, obviously, he's a quarterback. Quarterbacks help their team. That's not what I'm trying to say here. But Trevor Lawrence helped his team, really,
Yeah,
really helped his team. Dak did not.
I
Dak
know.
was
Dak,
ass.
and like I know me and you've talked about this before. And like here's my thing. Like I don't know. I understand the guy has had such a tough life. He lost his mom early, then his brother committed suicide because of him losing his mom. He's been through a ton of stuff. But
Yeah,
I think that's why the media and that's why the players love him so much because I mean, yeah, I guess I would like for him to succeed, but like he's not. He I think he has legitimately this is his last year, I think, with the Cowboys if he doesn't succeed. Like he needs to get them to at least the NFC championship or
right.
he's done. Like he I think they cut him. Like literally I think like they're fed up. They're almost like, dude, they're just like they're so fed up of having to rely on him. And then the
Yeah.
dude just throws 4 interceptions in the games that they rely on him.
Well, it's like looking at the stats too. It's just kind of crazy to me because Trevor Lawrence played every game this year, and well, I mean, he played 17. He didn't play all 18, but he played
Yeah.
17 games. Dak played what 12? He played 12 games this year, and he still led the league in interceptions. I think he led the league in interceptions. I know he led the league in not a good stat. It's just crazy to me. Very similar completion percentages. But Dak threw for 2,800 yards, 2,860. T Law threw for 4,100. Like, obviously, there's a five game differential there, but even
Yeah.
if you get 300 yards in those 5 games, that's barely going to put you over what Trevor Lawrence did. There's no way in hell that Dak Prescott's going to have 300 yards in 5 straight games. It's just like the clear differential there. I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't really think I understand. I mean, yeah, like to your point, I think the players maybe might have fought more with their hearts than they did with their heads. Because like he's a great guy. You can't doubt this dude. But on the field, I don't know if he's the guy that you are gonna want. Trevor Lawrence is that dude. Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson, he's that dude. I mean, I'm a Bengals fan, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna say to have Dak Prescott that high,
I
especially
know.
over Lamar Jackson,
That's
is
what yeah. Like
atrocious.
that's what I mean. Like I don't understand because yeah, Lamar did not have that good of a year last year, but like Dak Prescott had a worse year and he's
Right.
higher up than him. Like I don't know. I just don't it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. The only reason I could think that he's that high is because people have it out for him. Like they feel bad for him.
Yeah.
What do you think about Jared Goff though? I've seen a lot of things saying that he should not have been that high. Him at 66 right there.
I don't know. I mean, I don't. I really. I don't know. I guess I could understand why you wouldn't want him that high. He didn't lead his team to the playoffs. T Law did, and I was just sitting here arguing how T Law should have been above Dak. You could probably put T Law over Jared Goff. I'd say you could put Lamar over Jared, maybe because Lamar didn't do as much this season due to
Mm-hmm.
injuries and stuff like that. I'm not sure I am completely opposed to that. I mean, you look at Joey Bosa, Matt Milano, Zach Martin, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
It's like
There are,
the guys above him, though. It's like, well, I mean, I don't know. Who would you really, who below him, aside from a couple quarterbacks and maybe a couple receivers, would you really switch? It's like, it's the same thing as the
yeah.
Devontae thing. Jared Goff, you could move him, but it's not like you're going to drop him to like 80 or something like that.
Yeah, and one thing I find interesting just about that group of players that Jared Goff is in, I think 69 through 63 are
Yeah.
just like not like flashy names. Like I mean Darius Slay is a flashy name, don't get me wrong, but like he the past few years, like I think he is super underrated being there at 65. Like I think he is a lot better of a player than that. But like that's what I mean. I just think these players here just aren't like Matt Milano is not a flashy name, but the dude is a I don't know if you watched some of his highlight tapes, dude.
Oh, he's an animal.
He's the general on the field. Like he just
Yeah.
like just with the natural smartness and with Zach Martin being a guard, that's not a flashy position, but Zach Martin is a top three guard in the league. But it's just like I just feel like this whole kind of region here from 69 to 63 is a little just non-flashy name.
Nice. 69. High five.
Nice.
Um, a player I do want to bring up is Debo. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I know.
He's sitting at 61.
I mean, because he didn't have as great of a year as he did the year before. Like he did play good last year, but like the year before last year, they were like, this guy's crazy. He's a running back, wide receiver mix. Like this guy is the next thing. And then
And
he
then he
signed
gets
his
an insane
contract.
payday.
Yeah, and then he signs his contract, and he decided
Shits the bed.
he didn't want to play running back as much, and still complained that he. I don't know. I don't. Oh, that it's I don't I haven't even really thought about this whole situation until it's thrown on me like that. I don't know. The whole Debo thing is kind of frustrating. Like where he was like, pay me my money.
Yeah.
Like
I think he went from being like an extremely underrated player to in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong. We can make this the clip so that it'll blow up and people will comment and hate stuff and say I'm a giant moron. I think Debo has become possibly one of the more overrated players in the league. I
I
wouldn't
could
say he's the most. I'd say he's top 20 most overrated player in the league now, at
I
least.
would definitely agree with that because the work ethic, he doesn't put it in anymore. Like he got his payday. And like that's the thing. I want boys to get paid. I want them to get paid. But he got his payday and he's not trying as hard. He's just simply not like he's not giving it his all anymore. And I don't because I don't really think he wanted to stay with the 49ers. I think he liked the idea of moving someplace else and going to a new system and a new team. And then he got stuck with the 49ers when they offered him the money that he wanted because he was like,
Right.
shit, I don't know what to do now. Like, but he's just not trying. So I hope he can kind of turn it around after this year.
Well, it's like too like when they traded for Christian McCaffrey, I didn't think that was going to be a bad trade for Christian McCaffrey because he was a dog in Carolina and Carolina was mediocre at best. So I figured he would do well in that offense. The guy I was like, what the hell did they trade for McCaffrey for? Was Debo. I'm like, what was the point of him then?
I
Because
know.
his receiving skills are not close to like Ayuk or hell, you could almost say, George Kittle, because Kittle has probably I'd say if not better, very very similar route running skills,
Mm,
and the size combination and power combination is probably better than Debo's. It's just I don't know. Trading for Christian McCaffrey, not saying it was dumb. It was a very good idea. I mean, look where it ended up. He ended up being like probably the best, I would say, the best back in the league. And now it's like, okay, well, then what was the point of signing Debo? And it's like you're not
yeah.
really going to get much for him if you try and trade him.
That's what I mean. And I feel like the main reason they traded for Christian was because Devo wasn't pulling his weight at his so-called running back position.
Right.
Like that's the thing. He wasn't holding his own weight. So instead of being able to just put it on, oh, what was his name? I know he was hurt last year. What's San Francisco's other running back's name?
Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, but he was hurt a little bit last year. But he was killing it
Yeah.
at the beginning of the year. But he got hurt, and then also at the same time, Debo just stopped playing running back and stopped doing a lot of his running back plays. I don't know if that was coaching decision or Debo's, but it happened, and that's
Yeah.
why they decided they needed to go get Christian.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like it was a great idea to go get him because obviously he elevated that offense to a completely other level. And who knows what will happen when they have him all year this year. I
Yeah,
mean, I could honestly see them coming out of the NFC in this into because of just I mean, you added Javon Hargrave to that defense, who's
I
like
know.
quite possibly he's the top 5 defensive tackle, and it's like he's gonna obliterate any offensive line that he goes against. So it's like I could very much see them coming out of the NFC, but then it's like, why? What are you gonna do with Debo now? You kind of
Yeah.
backed him into a corner. Is there anyone else you were wanting to talk about? Oh,
My big thing, I have one that I want to talk about is I don't know. I'm just gonna say this because Bengals bias. I know I'm talking about another Bengals player, but I just don't know how I feel about Jamar being at 39.
I'll tell you how I feel.
I mean, like, dude, CD Lamb, you're telling me CD Lamb's better than Jamar Chase?
It's you don't know how I feel.
Another Cowboy. Like, dude, what is it with these Cowboy like love and like I just don't get it. I don't
I agree.
understand it.
I agree. Yeah, it's total horseshit. That's
And AJ Brown, you maybe have an argument for that he's better than
yeah,
Jamar, but definitely not CD.
yeah. I think what the crazy thing too about CeeDee Lamb is when you're legitimately the only viable option on an offense at the receiving position, of course you're going to get career highs.
Yeah.
That's like putting a high school football player, just a high schooler, on a pee wee football team.
Yeah,
Who's
like
gonna get the ball?
the high schooler, like obviously.
Yeah, or like it's like you got Ezekiel Elliott, you got a Ewok in your backfield who has completely lost all talent football wise. That's not true. He's still kind of talented, sort of.
He's okay.
You got Tony Pollard. Like, yeah, your quarterback can't throw past 5 yards without throwing an interception. So of course he's going to throw it to CeeDee Lamb. Like, you have no
Yeah.
other options. And it's like, so Jamar ended up with like just a little over 1,000 last year, and CD had almost 1,400. But also, Jamar played
Woodsy
was it like
and Boyd, and who
three,
both
four
were
less games?
yeah, and well, yeah, I forgot about that too. That Chase was hurt halfway through the year too,
Yeah,
and um, that's the thing. Like Boyd reach 1,000 this year, or did just Higgins?
I think it was just Higgins and Chase.
Because I remember the year before that they all reached 1,000.
I think they almost reached 1,000 the year before because Boyd had like
Oh,
950 or something like that. Yeah, they might have all reached 1,000. I'm not for sure, but yeah, okay. Jamar played 12 games this year to CD's 17.
yeah.
It's just I don't know.
I don't get how CD's that high. Like, I mean,
It's ridiculous. He had just as many touch. They had the same amount of touchdowns, and the average per reception was 2 less yards. Jamar had 2 less yards. It's like I don't know. I guess the part about it that people have to sit down and especially us realize is that this is like what you had mentioned. This is last year, and
yeah,
it's hard not to think of hindsight. But even I mean, a lot of the players we've talked about, it's like, well, yeah, of course, they shouldn't be in that spot. But yeah, CD, I don't know. I don't think CD is better, but I think as of last year, if you just want to sit there and blankly look at stats,
then yeah, CD's gonna be better.
right? You
All
want to
right,
talk about the Joe Burrow ranking or
that's what I mean. I think we should just move on to that now. I mean, because I will agree that after I would say from 33 from Matthew Judon down to literally like number 7, like
yeah.
I would say pretty much is solid. Like I would kind of agree with like I mean I don't know if I'd put Sauce at 23. I mean based off of just 1 year. I mean I love
Oh,
Sauce.
really?
Everybody loves Sauce. Yeah, but Sauce is at 23. I don't know if I'd put him that high, but
I honestly, I don't
especially,
know.
dude, they put him above Jair Alexander too from the Packers. Jair's 26 and Sauce is 23.
Yeah, I don't know. I here's the thing. And it could just be because I don't know. I don't sit and read advanced stats a whole lot. That's something I should probably do more. But like Sauce being at 23, Jair being at 26 wasn't horrible for me. You know, uh, he did. Jair had 5 picks and stuff like that. But it's like I guess what Sauce was doing, and to the guys he was doing it to, he was facing Stephon Diggs. he was facing Jalen and Tyreek down in Miami. In New England, there's really no one to go against because the receiving core sucks. But it's like you look at some of the guys that they were going against. It was like it. I don't know. I mean, obviously Jair played against Justin Jefferson, who is, no matter how you look at it, he's a top 3 receiver, top 2 receiver in the league.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The Sauce one didn't really bug me that much because
Yeah,
it's like
I wouldn't say that it bugged me. It was just it does seem a little high. 23. I mean, that's kind of crazy for a rookie.
You think so?
I just think it's crazy. But I mean, also at the same time, I mean, Micah Parsons in his second year is number 9.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
that's true. Yeah, I don't know. It's just looking back on it, I didn't really think it was that much of an issue. But it's like Jair would play against, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jefferson. I feel like Sauce was playing against harder receivers to go against.
yeah, I agree.
But
all right, so now the good old Joey B situation. So my big thing is I'm not even saying this so I understand we are talking about a lot of Bengals here. This is a hometown. We're from Northern Kentucky, of course, we're Bengals fans. But I'm not even gonna sit here and dick ride Joe and say that the thing that I've been just saying this entire time that upsets me about this list is that you show me that Lamar Jackson is 75 or whatever he was, and that Dak is like 53. You're telling me that. So I'm going, okay, what is this based on then? Like, that's the thing. Like, we've been arguing this entire time. Is it based on this year or is it based on overall? Like, that's the thing. Like, I just don't understand how they want us to view this list. I wish the players would come out with not like a description or just like give like a synopsis maybe of like how they rank these things, of being like, did you rank it on more than this year or just overall experience? Like, I wish there was more of like just a grounded thing for this list to where we could be like, okay, it is Jalen Hurts from 2022, like just from that season, or it's Jalen Hurts overall. Like, they're saying that Jalen Hurts is a better football player than Joe Burrow. Or are they saying that Jalen Hurts in 2022 was a better player than Joe Burrow? Like, I wish that there was something to fully understand what this list is trying to say.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think it's I don't know. It's just so odd because you look at some parts of the list, like Dak being above Lamar, and I guess if you really wanted to get down to details, you could say, oh, that kind of makes sense because career-wise, Dak's played a little bit longer, had a little bit more playoff success, I guess you could say. Well, I don't even know if he has. I don't actually think he has.
I think no, he hasn't. I think he's won the same amount of playoff games as Lamar, which is none. Actually, hold on, I want to double check that. But keep on going.
You could just say like, I don't know, like, oh, Lawrence, yeah, you could say thus far has not had as, impressive of a career as Dak. Well, obviously, Dak's played longer. So it's like they want to be like top players of 2023. Well, is it actually, or are you just kind of saying like, well, sometimes it is, because I don't know. I don't even think the players really understand what they're saying at sometimes because it's like that because of the fact you got Khalil Mack above Chase.
I know.
Khalil Mack has not played good since his first year with the Bears 5 years ago. It's just I don't really think they know what they're always saying on that list.
Yeah. Also, to answer the question like I was saying before, Dak has 2 playoff wins and one in 2021, which was against the Bucks, which was Brady's last thing. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, because he lost to Dallas. That was his last year.
Yep.
Or wait, no, was that last
year?
Yeah, that was this year that he won the one playoff game. And then I think it said 2018 against Seattle, and then Lamar won in 2021 against the Titans.
No, he lost against the Titans.
That's what it's
the year after.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So his only postseason win came against the Tennessee Titans in January 2021. He's 1-3 in the playoffs. Lamar, I have to say, I don't know if he's going to be able to turn, because dude, you got the Bengals now, and the Steelers are good too. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
That one thing I will say about this list though is the defensive players I don't really disagree on a lot. I agree with where the defense players all are. I agree that uh Nick Bosa being the number one defensive player in the league though. Do you agree with that? Do you think he is the number one defensive player in the league?
Well, this is what it just goes back to, like what you were just saying. This
Yeah.
year, he
Or is it
was
last? Yeah.
he was factually the number one player in the defensive player
Mm-hmm.
in the league because of he went and won defensive player of the year. But I mean, is he necessarily the best in the league? I don't know about that. This past year, yes, but then it's
Yeah.
like, well, how are we ranking this right now?
Yeah.
Because I think it's honestly kind of fun to see how many players are jockeying for that top spot of best defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a topic for another time. But like,
Yeah.
you got Nick Bosa, you could throw Sauce in there, you could throw Jalen in there,
Parsons,
Ramsey, yeah,
Fred
Parsons,
Warner, multiple
yeah,
people.
Warner. You could throw in um, Derwin James if you really
Mm-hmm.
wanted to. I mean, there's so many players that you could try and argue. You could throw in Joey Bosa. I mean, he's
Yeah.
not, but it's a invigorating time for defense. Um, you want to move on to the next topic?
Yeah. All right. I guess we're done with this top one. All right. Like I said, I'll leave the link in the description if you want to go through there and look through them yourselves.
Yes.
Um, kind of just go through and if anything, hey, leave a comment and tell us what your opinions are. Tell us if we missed anything or tell us if we're stupid and you disagree with our opinions.
Yeah,
But
we'll put a poll up on our Instagram. Uh, what do you think about the list? But it won't
yeah.
be a poll. It'll be two options: bad, really bad, because it's not good.
Yeah, there's no good answer. It's a bad
Right.
no matter what.
And if
All
you
right.
reply and say, "Well, it's not that bad," you're getting blocked.
Just block them immediately. They're just like right when they press send, it doesn't even send. They're just blocked immediately.
I'm
There's-
sorry, you can't send a message to this user.
All right, we'll move
Uh,
on to training camp now. Kind of go through some news. Obviously, there's our boy Joe there, Cheeto and Mike Hilton. I don't know if you can actually see that on my screen. I'll go ahead and move us to
yeah,
see if you can. There's Mike Hilton. But yeah, they had a joint Packers and Bengals had a joint practice yesterday, which we are recording this August 10th, so it was August 9th that they had joint practice. And honestly, there is training camp's just always a fun time. There's just always so many rumors going around. There's so many like stories to look into. There's just I don't know. The biggest thing about it is it's just excitement. Like all the players are just getting excited for the season to come up, and it's just there's a lot of fun to it. My biggest thing that I'm going to take away just from the training camp and whole right now that I'm invested into is I am curious who in the hell the Buccaneers are going to put at starting quarterback
right.
this year.
Well,
Did
did
you
you see
see?
their depth chart?
Yeah, where it said
Or
or. Like, dude, I just like both options are so bad. Like, do you think Baker Mayfield can try to bring it back? And then like Kyle Trask, like I mean, I guess he had a statistically crazy year at Florida that like what was that 2 years ago or whatever. But man, he is just so sporadic with the ball, and it's just like the Buccaneers are a freaking fire right now. Like it's just crazy how you can go from being so steady with Tom Brady as a Hall to just now you don't even know who your quarterback's gonna be.
right. Uh, yeah, I think that's been an extremely interesting story. You have a similar thing up in New England with
Yeah.
Mac and the more so the uncertainty of if he's that guy, which I really don't know. He
Do,
kind of
do you
looked like
think
it rookie year and then didn't.
do you think they're gonna run with him, or are they looking more towards Zappy?
That's what I'm saying. I have no clue. That's the least interesting quarterback conversation I've ever seen in my life. At least with the Bucks, it's kind of funny because it's like who's going to throw more interceptions?
Yeah,
Mac Jones
that's,
can't even throw an interception. He's that
that's what
boring
I
of a
mean.
quarterback.
The Patriots one is just sad. It's just like
Yeah.
there's nothing happy to it.
It's literally watching paint dry. It's like, well,
Yeah,
this isn't bad, but this isn't good. Um, I've got a couple interesting ones. First one, the Chris Jones situation. I think that is extremely
yeah,
interesting and something I want to keep my eye on. Not for the sake of like Oh, I want the Bengals to get him because if he's wanting a new contract, he wants a lot of money. We're not going to get him.
Yeah, there's no way. But it's good for us because then we don't have the person who's
Get him out
gonna
of there.
kill Joe Burrow. Yeah, literally,
Right.
like you take Chris Jones off that defense.
We win that game.
Yeah, who else? But that's like I'm just curious. Like, just tell me off the top of your head who else do they got? Like that's like a star on defense.
I know they got George Karlaftis, who's going into his second year. I don't think he played stupid good last year, but I think he was all right. They
Yeah,
lost Frank Clark, who is a pretty decent contributor. But yeah, that's the thing. They got Trent Duffy at corner. They got uh Justin Reed out of
but like
safety.
that's what I mean. Like no like big name people. Like that's what I mean. Chris Jones is their only big name dude, and it's like if he's off that defense, it's a whole different story, whole
Right.
different ball game.
Nick Bolton, their linebacker's pretty good.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's one linebacker,
yeah,
and the rest of the defense is nah. And then the other story, I think you've heard this one, the Eric Bieniemy situation.
yeah, dude. That's like, bro. I wanted to talk about this too. So, well, like just that entire thing. For the people who don't know, it's Eric Bieniemy, who is the offensive coordinator of the Washington Commanders, which they're apparently going to change their name again. That's a different conversation for another day. But
Yes.
he's the new offensive coordinator at the Washington Commanders. The only reason he went to the Commanders is because he was the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. He could not get a head coach job because the Chiefs were too good and they didn't think that it was Bieniemy doing anything. So he literally had to go to the Commanders and be the offensive coordinator over there because he literally couldn't get any head coaching jobs being so he was just stuck with the Chiefs. So he went to the Commanders. All of these players are coming out saying that he is way too hard of a coach and basically like telling on him to the head coach saying that he is way too hard. And it's honestly mind boggling. Like, I just don't like, I've never heard of a player saying a coach is too hard before.
Yeah, that's like almost like a forbidden rule of any sport.
Yeah.
You do not ever say. You can say your coach sucked when
Yeah.
you leave.
Exactly. Or you could be like, that dude was really hard, but always at the end of the day, there's like a respect or something there. And it's like, it's crazy that like this got so public and that like they're actually like just saying that, but I'm curious what he's doing. Like, have you been seeing anything like specific what he's doing?
I haven't really looked into it a whole lot, aside from headlines and stuff like that. But I mean, I just got to think he's carrying the same mindset over there from the Chiefs because I know Andy Reid is pretty intense head coach because he wants to win,
Yeah.
and I'm assuming he brought that same thing over to Washington, and because he just wants to win, and the Washington does not know what that feels like.
Yeah, I guess they're just so used to just like coasting by and just like not
Yeah,
like kind of half-assing it in some practices and stuff like that. Where Bieniemy's like, nah, man, like you got to be on it all the time.
yeah, they're used to having a shitty ex owner,
Yeah, man,
Snyder.
I don't know. Yeah, that whole situation's funny. I'm just curious what's gonna happen from it. I'm curious if like apparently Ron Rivera had to like have a talk with him, but that's just like they have to do that.
Yeah,
Like that's just if
yeah,
something gets
and
out in the
Ron Rivera
public.
said it.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I don't know. I wish I was there to understand what was actually happening because like that's the thing, yeah, like we've played sports before. We've had dickhead coaches, but like I don't know, even like the worst coach I could think of in my life, like I wouldn't like I would never go tell on them to somebody and be like, this guy's really bad. Like he's
Yeah,
way too hard. Grown
yeah,
men who are making over $200,000 a year at least. Like that's what I mean. Even practice squad members, like just like over that much. It's just crazy.
yeah. Um, I wouldn't. I don't know. I obviously the Bengals. I don't want to dwell on the Bengals too much because there is so much going on in this training camp. Um, but they had a very dominant. Just defensively had a very dominant day yesterday.
Yeah,
A little bit of a fight,
we
which
love
is
that.
cool.
Yeah,
Very awesome.
get the energy up.
Yeah. Um, Another topic I would like to talk about is the what was it I was going to talk about? I did want to talk about Teddy Bridgewater going to Detroit. Well, it's not
Yeah.
intriguing news. It's very interesting to me because I really like Hendon Hooker. I think he could be a pretty good quarterback. I mean, he was one of the most entertaining quarterbacks to watch
Hmm.
this past year in college, because it was just like effortlessly launching a rocket down the field. Uh, but I'm very interested by that because it's like, I don't know, Teddy Two Gloves still has something, I guess.
Yeah, and my big thing why I'm interested with that is because I'm thinking that he can hopefully take the pocket presence of Jared Goff and learn from Jared Goff being a slinger and being in the pocket more, and then also learning how to distribute the ball by getting outside of the pocket and being able to be more mobile like Teddy Two Gloves was. Like, and I
Yeah,
think Hendon Hooker can benefit from both of them. And I think that's what Detroit's kind of thought was there was, hey, we got the best of both worlds right here. So let's just try to bring people in who are specialists at
right.
both, where Jared Goff's more of a specialist in the pocket. Teddy Two Gloves is a specialist at running, getting the ball out by like making running throws and great athletic plays. And I just think that's what Detroit's goal is to kind of have him hopefully digest the knowledge from both sides to create one complete player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like this has been probably one of the more interesting training camps in the past few years.
Yeah, I mean I will agree. I think every year I get more invested into sports, so it always seems like it gets more and more interesting. But I will say there has been a lot, and the biggest thing is there hasn't been like the biggest thing about this year is that there really isn't like no there's not a number one definitive team right now. Like
Right.
there is not a like last year I feel like it was like the Chiefs and Bills at the beginning of the season where like they are a different tier than everybody else. They're like it's the Chiefs and Bills and then there's everybody else. Like this year there's like you could argue like 5 or 6 teams that are in that top tier.
Yeah.
And it's like it's going to be such a and it's like but at the same time away from those 5 or 6 teams because I would not consider the Jets in those 5 and 6 teams, but a team like the Jets could turn it around. Like they have potential to become a Super Bowl contender. Like there is something there. And it's just crazy that so many teams have potential this year and there's so much building up this season and nobody has any clue what's going to happen.
Yeah. It's just I think that is maybe what makes everything seem a little bit more competitive and a little bit more interesting is that you don't have a team like the Rams kind of going into last year where it was
Mm-hmm.
like not stacked, but it was like you had a lot of stars on that team. Um, and it's not I don't know, it just seems pretty evenly distributed in the league right
Mm-hmm.
now. It doesn't seem, especially the AFC. It's gonna be it's gonna be definitely the best conference to watch this
Yeah,
year, not just because of the Bengals.
the AFC is ridiculous. And like the one thing that is hard is I don't know if I've talked to you about this before, but I've talked to multiple people about it. Is the thing that does suck about like the Bengals being good is younger and growing up when the Bengals weren't good, when like we knew that we weren't gonna really be a big thing. I could kind of look forward to stories in the NFL and hope that that stuff would happen. Like Tom Brady winning another Super Bowl. Like I get to sit here and witness greatness. I get to witness Tom Brady winning another Super Bowl and get to tell my kids that I watched Tom Brady win however many Super Bowls. He ended up winning 6, but or however much, whatever,
7.
7. But like I'm just saying at that time. But now with the Bengals being good, like I want the Bengals to win the Super Bowl, and I really believe that they can. But I can't really cheer for other stuff to happen because like I
Yeah.
want like that is above all I need to like I want the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. But it would be awesome, like I was saying, for the Jets. It would be all. I think it would be a cool story if Aaron Rodgers were to flip it around at the Jets and like him and Sauce are best friends and like Sauce goes out and wins Defensive Player of the Year, like Aaron wins Offensive Player of the Year, and like they like go and have a great tear. But it's like they're in the AFC. It's like I don't like that would be cool to happen, but like I don't really necessarily want any of that to happen because like I need the Bengals to win the AFC.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like it's just like I don't know. It's just kind of hard to like get behind other stories and stuff because the Bengals are good now and like they actually
Yeah.
have a chance.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely been a very good training camp so far, which I think is only going to mean the season is even better.
All right, you want to get
Uh,
into some rookie of the year
predictions?
predictions? Yeah, we'll
You
we'll
got
jump into
yours?
this.
You want to go first?
So what I was thinking is I can just run through the odds really quick, like just like kind of.
I actually got those pulled up right now too.
Oh, okay. So I'll just go ahead and share them. So we'll just do offensive first. So you might be on the same page as I'm on, but so they got Bijan Robinson at plus 300 as the favorite for the win offensive rookie of the year. They got Bryce Young plus 420, second favorite. They got Anthony Richardson plus 900, and then C.J. Stroud plus 900. So they're about the same. Jahmyr Gibbs, running back for Detroit, plus 1100. Jackson Smith and Jibba, who is plus 1400, and Jordan Addison is plus 1600. So who do you think is going to be the 2023 offensive rookie of the year?
So okay, here's my thoughts on this. I have who I want to win, and that's JSN. I think
Okay, Jackson
I
Smith
could
and Jibba.
very much see Jackson Smith and Jigba
My
being a
thing is,
star.
where is he gonna get those? Where is he gonna get the receptions? Where I he
Well,
there?
that's what I was about to say. So you look at the Ohio State team he played on. That it was 2021, 2022.
Mhm.
It was that season. You look at who was on that team. Reigning Offensive Player of the Year, Garrett Wilson, or Offensive
Yep.
Rookie of the Year, and then who was also a top 5 finisher and Offensive Rookie of the Year, Chris Olave. You look at that offense, and C.J. Stroud. It's like, oh wow, I wonder how many yards Garrett Wilson had. I wonder how many yards Chris Olave had. I'm about 99% sure JSN led all of those guys in receiving yards.
Let's
I mean, that was
see.
it's a stacked offense that OSU team was, but at the same time, it's like that's partially why I think he could be a sleeper pick right now. Like I think if you got some money to blow and you want to bet on something, obviously don't maybe you shouldn't take your advice from me because I don't really bet on sports that much, but and I'm not a genius. Uh, but I would say JSN is a sleeper pick because yeah, he's going in there with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, so you might think he's not going to get as many targets. What that dude can do. Have you seen videos of him at training camp? Burning. He's burning the defense. Like real crisp. And he's just making, some crazy snags and he's getting loose. I mean, he's finding his way up the sideline with ease, it seems like. And even when he catches the ball, his yak is just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his speed just I think will set him apart a lot. Obviously DK is really fast, but I think JSN is a huge sleeper pick because I think he's gonna fit into that offense well. And then you got to think you got Kenneth Walker on that offense and Zach Charbonnet. So JSN is my sleeper pick. He's who I want to win. But I mean, if we're being honest, it will probably be Bryce. I think it's either going to be Bryce or CJ, in my
Okay,
opinion.
so to back you up on your stats, you are correct. Just to let you know, and by a lot,
Was it by like
surprisingly. So
400 yards or something?
So JSN, Jackson Smith and Jibba. This was 2021. 2022, he actually only played 3 games.
Very
He
few
must,
games.
yeah, he was hurt. But 2021 was when they had JSN, Chris Olave, and Garrett Wilson as their three. And Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave played 11 games.
And Marvin
And
Harrison Jr. was on that team.
yeah, Junior Marvin Harrison was on that team. He only played 5 games, though. He must have been hurt half the season. But they all played the same number of games. JSN had 1,600 receiving yards. Garrett Wilson had 1058, and Chris Olave had 936. So you were correct.
Yeah.
Now, Chris Olave caught 13 touchdowns, and Garrett Wilson caught 12, and JSN only caught 9. But still, 1,600 receiving yards, like that is insane.
It was ridiculous.
That I didn't even realize that. Like I didn't know he just dominated the yards like that.
Yeah, he was so good. I think, and then it's like you watch that bowl game that they had against Utah that year. He went for like 323 and like 4
Mm-hmm.
touchdowns, or might have been like 3 touchdowns. He was stupid good, and I think he's gonna fit into this offense like a glove. It's
Yeah.
just gonna be he already knows what it's like to be seen as like the least I don't know. I don't want to say the worst because he's not the worst, but it's like maybe the not most viable option on that offense. He
Mm-hmm.
knows what it's like to be seen as that. So of course he's going to go out and like burn these guys.
That
then
is
it's
true.
like,
Yeah, he might just like be open, like because everybody's
right,
gonna be paying attention to EK
yeah.
especially.
And then you look at the division he's in. Obviously you got San Fran in there, which they always have a decent secondary to say, like, at the least they have a decent secondary. But
Hmm.
it's like, who's going to guard who? Like, you can't. I don't want to say it's as good as the Bengals because I think we have the best receiving core in the league,
Hmm.
but it
It
could
is
very
very
well be
good.
one of the best.
It is
I
one
mean,
of.
they
I
haven't
would
played a
say
snap
top
yet.
five. I would
Yeah,
say
I was
top
going to
five
say
already.
they haven't taken a snap of football yet together, and I already think that it's going to be a top 5 receiving core because it's like, pick your poison. Who you want to get burnt by today? And I think it's just going to be an extremely. I'm very excited to watch that offense.
Hmm.
I think that's going to be so fun.
So my pick is obviously. I mean, I'm going with the favorite Bijan Robinson because Falcons. I mean, come on, I gotta run with my guys. I gotta run. If any of you don't know, the Falcons are my second favorite team. They're literally right. I would say the Bengals are right here, and the Falcons are right there, very close. Like
Nice
if the
matchup.
Falcons, if the I cried when the Falcons lost the Super Bowl. I did not cry when the Bengals lost the Super Bowl. Just saying. I mean, obviously the Bengals didn't blow a 20 plus
25
lead,
point lead.
but but I'm going with Bijan Robinson. Everybody out here saying Bijan isn't going to be as good as they're saying. Bijan is going to be an absolute dog. You want to know why? Because people are saying, oh, they're going to stack the box against Atlanta. Bijan's not going to be able to do anything, and then they're going to make Desmond throw. Yeah, they are going to make Desmond throw. You know what's going to happen? Desmond's going to be a dog, dude. Desmond's going to kill it this year. I'm telling you. Desmond is going to be a lot better than people are thinking. I don't think he's going to be a star, but I think he's going to be a solid starting quarterback to where they can't stack the box against Atlanta because I think Desmond will be enough of a threat to where he can make those throws. And we got Drake London too, who's just gonna
Even you
slide
go
in
on.
there. But I like legitimately think that Bijan has the speed, especially too, and the breaking tackles abilities to where they will not be able to stack the box against us. And I do think Bijan is going to have an insane year.
Even if they do stack the box and you guys have to pass the ball, Bijan can still cook there.
Yeah, like exactly, like that's what I mean. Like I legitimately think the Falcons are a lot better of a team than. Sorry, I'm looking something up. I'm just looking at my stat really quick, so I want to make
No,
sure.
you're good.
But I legitimately think the Falcons are going to be a lot better of a team than people think because the NFC South is wide open. Like it is completely open. I mean, I guess the Saints have an okay shot, but they're all question marks. The Saints are a question mark. Carolina's a question mark, and then Tampa Bay is shit. So it's like it's just. I think the Falcons actually do have a good shot to pull it out, and I think Bijan is going to be part of that. And I think honestly, just gonna say it, I think Bijan might end the season as a top 10 running back. And I think that it is going to be understandable why he's getting that amount of money that he's getting.
Yeah, I agree. I would say, I mean, it might be too early to say this. I already feel like Bijan is like a top 15 back
Mm-hmm.
because he's just the athleticism and stuff he brings, which he could always fall flat on his face. I don't want him to because I think he was a lot of fun to watch in college.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always that possibility that, yeah, I think that's a very good pick.
All right, so
Uh,
we'll book it down. So you got JSN, I got Bijan for
yes.
rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year. So Will
You want me to share the
Anderson,
odds?
yeah,
Or
you can
you
share.
want to?
Yeah, you can go through
Okay.
the odds for defense. You got yours pulled up.
So we got so my offensive ones were different. I guess I was looking at a different website. Um,
Okay,
but I'll just rank them
that's okay.
like in
Sorry.
in in descending order.
Yeah.
So Will Anderson,
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Carter, Christian Gonzalez, Tyree Wilson, Devon Witherspoon, Jack Campbell, Lucas Van Ness, Emmanuel Forbes, Nolan Smith, Will McDonald, the fourth, Joey Porter, Kalijah Cansey, Kalijah Cansey, and then we'll just go with those guys for now though. You can always go look them up. We'll leave a link in the
Mm-hmm.
description. But who's yours?
Man, I don't want to go with the favorite twice in a row. I do think but I just want to say I think Will Anderson is going to be a different animal in football. Like I think he is
Yeah,
just like he is the new position of football. Like he is the safety linebacker combo where he is as fast as a safety, but as strong and as big as a linebacker. And he's
Yeah.
just smart. He's the smartest player. Like he's just so like apparently he's everywhere. Apparently it's literally like the unfathomable how he is just able to be from one end of the field to the other and just be able to read plays like that. But man, I think if Jalen Carter can keep his head straight, Jalen Carter is just that is a big man. Like, and the
Right.
fact that he is on the Eagles, dude,
Yeah.
like it is like, how are they gonna? I think every one of the Eagles defensive line is going to eat because like all of them are good. Like I don't, so I could definitely see Jalen Carter being able to like get in those openings, like hopefully to where since he's a rookie, they're not going to pay it. He'll be the least paid attention to where he could shine.
Yeah.
But oh
But
man,
he's
they're
big as
all
fuck.
good, dude. They're all good. Like
Yeah.
literally, Tyree's great. Dude, I love the story of Christian Gonzalez to where like he dropped so far and the Patriots took him, and I
Yeah.
could see him just being a lockdown corner for them.
That's I see. I was thinking the same thing. I don't want to sit here and be like, well, I think the favorite's going to win it, but Will Anderson is just like you were saying. This dude's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
He is like obviously he's a football player. This dude's an athlete. He does more than just play football. So I want to say him because especially with him being coached by D'Amico Ryans,
Mm-hmm.
who is coaching the number one defense out in San Fran, and Fred Warner was a monster under him. I mean, Fred Warner's an animal no matter who you put, but
Yeah,
Fred Warner was an animal under him, and D'Amico was, I think he's in the Ring of Honor, Houston Texans Ring of Honor,
yeah.
and it's just he was an animal, and I think that's the reason he traded up is because they got a lot of crap for trading up and taking Will Anderson, and I think that's
I
kind of
know.
dumb. I was
I
like,
don't get
why
that.
would you not trade up and get like the best available quarterback? I'm not even gonna say the best available quarterback because I think C.J. Stroud was the best quarterback in that class. And if people want to give me some hate for that, you can give me some hate for that
Hot
because
take. Hot
I
take.
think his Heisman year. Look at the stats. In Bryce Young's Heisman year, the stats were so close, and actually C.J. Stroud led more. I believe you can fact check me if you want to. I believe C.J. Stroud had more stat categories where he was better than Bryce Young, but
I'm
Bryce Young
not.
went to the college football playoffs. So,
I'm not gonna deny it. I mean,
um,
I agree with you.
yeah,
I do think what Houston did was very very smart. I think that was
yes.
they took a chance and that was great.
But I also think Christian Gonzalez has a damn good chance of winning that.
Mm.
A damn good chance because if he can have even half of the year that Sauce had, where it's
Yeah.
like you go against these, because he's going to be in the same division. You're playing against
Mm.
these ridiculous receivers. You're playing against Stephon Diggs, Jalen
Jalen
Waddle,
Waddle,
Tyreek
Tyree,
Hill.
yeah,
I mean, you're not playing against. I mean, who do the Jets have at receiver? Why am I?
Garrett
Oh, Garrett
Wilson,
Wilson. Okay, it's like
Alan Lazard.
yeah, Alan Lazard. um, but I think Christian Gonzalez has a very good chance of possibly winning it too. But yeah, that my pick. I'll chalk my pick up as Will Anderson as well.
Okay, I'll put mine down. Well, I'm gonna go Jalen Carter then.
Okay,
If
well
you're
then
going
I'll
Will
go.
Anderson,
Okay,
I'm going Jalen Carter.
okay.
All right, there's
Two
our
very
predictions,
bold
baby.
takes.
What?
Picking the top two,
I know, picking
the
the top
top
two, but
two
I mean, like,
odds.
dude, they're freaks. They're literally freaks. I could,
This is,
but
I
any of
think,
them, I think all of them have the chance to just turn it up, though. Like, I think they all do. I think these are a lot of big name rookies who had great years last year. So,
I think this is going to be one of the best draft classes ever. One of the
yeah,
best
I could
draft
see
classes
that
ever.
because there's just a lot of big names. Like, there's a
There's
lot of,
so many
yeah,
athletes. Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, Christian Gonzalez, Tyree Wilson,
Lucas
Devon
Van Ness.
Witherspoon,
I
Lucas
remember,
Van
like, yeah,
Ness, Nolan Smith, Joey Porter, Kalijah Cansey. I mean, there's
remember
just
these names.
Miles Murphy. You can go on for hours
I know.
talking about these guys because it's going to be such a ridiculous class. But yeah, chalk it up. So we have Bijan for you,
Yep,
JSN
for
for
you.
me, and then Will Anderson for me, Jalen Carter for you.
Yep. All right.
Okay, chalk it up.
Yep. Put them in. Those are our ballots. What we're putting in. All right. moving on, kind of moving away from the NFL for a little bit. Kind of we'll talk about because I mean obviously this deals with college football, but next topic is of course the Pac-12 completely crashing and burning and everybody leaving. I did not make this graphic. This graphic's from theringer.com. Don't think we're that talented. But it is very funny. So for those of you who don't know, I'll just read this really quick. So there might not be no more Pac-12 as 8 of the league members have scattered east effective in 2024. So that is literally like as soon as possible they are leaving. Arizona State, Colorado, Utah, and Arizona are going to the Big 12. And Southern Cal, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington are heading to the Big 10.
Mm-hmm.
So this is insane. Have not seen a conference crash like this in my lifetime. And it is just like, I don't know, because I just don't know where everything originated from this Pac-12 crashing and burning, because I personally thought that the Pac-12 was cool, and I thought that it was cool that they were like kind of all up in the Northwest, like that's just kind of was their region.
Yeah.
But man, Oregon and UCLA and like USC going to the Big 10 is going to be nuts. Like imagine we're gonna get Oregon versus Michigan.
Yeah.
And USC versus Ohio State, like on a regular basis. Yep. Like I just think it's great for all sports. I think it's just, I mean, I don't know the money specifics, but I do think it's just crazy this reshape. I actually think it's going to be for the best.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's kind of crazy because you look at just how quickly it all is happening. Like you were saying, like it's just unreal. I've never seen anything, whether it's a team, whether it's a conference, anything like that crash as quickly as the Pac-12 is currently doing. And it's just, I don't know. It makes me a little sad. I feel bad for I don't feel bad. It's going to be tough for the student athletes.
Yeah.
Because it's not like the school is moving. You're just going to a completely different conference. It is all about money, and it's all about broadcasting views. That's why this move is happening. So the part that boggles my mind, why the hell could you not, as Oregon or as Arizona or as Washington, not just be like, hey, we want to schedule to play against Ohio State this year? That's going to get your views up because you're playing a prime time big game. And that way you don't have to switch conferences to where all of your games are on the opposite side of the country. I don't know. It just is a little disheartening, I guess you could say.
I do agree with you. For the fan perspective, like I gave because I just kind of at the beginning of this, I gave the fan spiel where this is great for matchups. You just kind of gave them more down to earth answer, which I do agree with. It does suck for the student athletes too, because especially if you're Oregon and you're playing Ohio State too, think of the traveling. Like that is crazy. Like the traveling back and forth, and you're gonna have to travel so much more. And the amount of pressure too, because Wisconsin, like that's a game that I'm gonna turn on. USC versus Wisconsin, UCLA versus Wisconsin. Like I'm gonna turn that on. That's the main thing, is that because like I'm gonna be honest with you, like UCLA versus like Arizona State or like UCLA, unless they're ranked, I'm probably not gonna turn that on, especially since it's so late at night too. Like it's like, but like a UCLA versus Wisconsin, I'm gonna turn that game on. Like I just think that sounds entertaining to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the games are obviously going to be awesome. I mean, especially when we get to get like a USC Ohio State or a UCLA Ohio State, a Michigan UCLA game. It's going to be, very fun games to watch, no doubt. But yeah, I don't know. I guess speaking from more of a personal standpoint, not that it personally affects me, but that's got to suck.
Yeah, and especially for like the tennis players and the golf players and stuff, like the ones who don't really get like much recognition from it.
Right.
That must suck.
Right.
All right. So speaking of college stuff, let's go ahead and move on. Let's talk about our college a little bit. We'll
horse, baby.
Talk about there's our boys there. Our men's team actually just made a trip over to Rome. Look at the boys looking all great. Look at that, and them in the Coliseum.
Posted up. Michael Bradley. Point guard.
I know.
You see him? He's down there by San Vincent.
I know.
He's gonna be on my podcast soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice, dude. Hey,
yeah.
Shout out. Look at that. Is that just dropping the information
Michael
like
Bradley.
That?
What's up, man? Gotta get him on here sometime now.
Dude, hopefully. That's what I mean. Yeah, hopefully. Hey, maybe he'll be athlete of the week one week.
No doubt. No doubt.
Who knows? All right. So basically, obviously they traveled, they visited a ton of places, which is obviously pretty cool. I hope they didn't make too much of a dent in the NKU's debt bill. I hope it was all
Yeah.
paid and everything. But yeah, they at least they went and they played two tournaments. They played two tournaments against two select teams from the countries just surrounding. Let me double check, make sure. So the first one was just like a pro camp selection, which says it was a mix of elite players from the Lombardy region, which this is just an article off of NKU's athletic page, which that's where me and Matt get those first up. They do a great job there. It's actually very easy to click through and easy to see statistics, and there's
Yes.
pretty much an article for every sport and every event that's going on. That's how me and Matt stay up to date. So thank you to the people who make this website run. But we beat that team, that pro camp selection, 96 to 55.
Yeah.
Absolutely swamped them. Of
Yep.
course, our leading scorer in that game was Marcus Morick, who had 19 points. And our new guy, second leading scorer, Cade Meyer, had 18 points. And Trey Robinson had 14. Keon Iturge, I don't know how to say his last name. I'm sorry. I probably just butchered that. Had 10 points. And then LJ Wells had 10 points as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's you look at that game, and then we played a game. This team is Dream Team Italy. It looks like the name
Yeah.
of this Dream Team Italy. 88-68. So averaging close to like just around 90 a game
Yeah.
and holding our
Absolutely
opponents
dogging them
to
too.
about 60. Yeah. I
And
mean,
I'm sorry, I just want to say really quick too,
no, you're good.
the pictures of the people that were playing too, they're like the same age. It's not like they're like high schoolers or something. Like they're the same age as them. So
Right. Yeah. Uh, just looking at the stats from the Dream Team Italy game, Marquez Warwick, puts up 20, 21, 3 assists, three boards. Vincent has 18, 7 boards, 5 steals, 3 assists.
I know.
Hubie, big old Hubie, he had 12 points, 3 assists. And then Cade Meyer had 9 and 10, 9 points, 10 boards. Just looking at that alone, I mean, that's 3 players. That's 9 assists across those 3 players. It seems like this team is meshing extremely well for what it's made of, which is Vincent has been here, Work has been here, Hubie's been here, Cade Meyer's transferred in. We've had, I know, at least 3, 4 transfers that have come in. Got some freshmen that have come in. It just seems like the team is meshing very well, which is not always extremely common to see when you get these guys transferring in from all over, because it seems like the culture that's being built here is a winning culture, and not much of a where you might see in other schools where it's like, oh, I want to transfer here because I'm going to get playing time. I can make myself look good, go somewhere else, or go somewhere bigger, or go for the draft. It seems like they all are meshing well, and they want to win, and they are by a lot.
Yeah, and
So
that's the great thing is because like I kind of brought up the competition is really no matter what the competition is, like they're trying their hardest and they're winning as a team. Like no matter what, they are winning as a team. Basketball, even if you're a way better team, you could lose if you don't have a good chemistry together and there's one bad player in your lineup that is way too selfish or whatever. They're very like you were saying, they're meshing a lot, it seems like, and winning is winning. And they're gonna come into the season knowing off the top of their head, hey, we killed these teams in Europe. Let's just keep this momentum going. Let's kill the teams in the Horizon League. Why can't we kill the teams in the Horizon League? Like that should be their mentality. And it's just, I'm very excited for it. I can't wait to go to more games this year.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna be at the Youngstown State game,
Oh yeah,
because I know they actually recruited and they got to commit. He's kind of a fraud. He's like 7'3".
yeah, he's trash.
He's not that good, honestly. I do
Yeah,
remember I've hit a buzzer beater on him before, so he's not that good.
yeah.
What's his name? He's kind of a no. He's a
It's
nobody. So
like
I'm trying to remember what his name is now.
Gabe something.
Oh yeah. Gabe Dines.
Gabriel something.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
something like that.
Gabriel
Yeah,
Deans. Is it
I
Deans or
don't
Dines?
know. It might be Dines. I'm not for sure.
I don't know.
No,
All I
just
know
messing
is
around.
that I can't believe that dude. I wish that NKU would have offered him. I didn't talk to him at all. I don't know if they did or not. I don't know if he would have stayed or. whatever. I mean, I don't know. All I know is that he's coming down here to play us, and we get to watch him. So
Yeah, get to watch him. I told him that Sam. I either said Sam was gonna like. Oh, I said Sam was gonna baptize him. So Sam, Vincent, no
please,
pressure at all,
Sam,
man.
please poster
But
him.
please, when Gabe dines, you can tell who he is. Big white dude. When he walks into the game, just if you get a boost from your teammates, just like hoisting you up in the air, anything, please dunk all over this kid. And we're not
Please,
just like hating on some random guy. Gabe, we went to high school with Gabe.
yeah,
It's
good friends
nothing
with
but
him.
love. Um, but yeah,
Sucks at
I think
sucks
it's
at
just gonna
video
be
games. He's really bad.
yeah. He's all right at basketball. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
whatever.
kind of tough to tell. He should try pool, like the table game.
Do you think he'd be good at that? I mean, I guess he would have a crazy range at it. I mean, you
Yeah,
could make any shot. You know what
he
I
can
mean?
just
I
flick
guess
the ball.
is that
Rich,
legal?
um,
And I
I
think
mean
you have to use. I think you have to use a pool cue.
his arms kind of look like pool cues.
You could just blend in.
Yeah.
All right. Enough
That's
about
gonna be a
our
fun season.
enough about our boys for now, but let's move on to a different group of our boys. And this will be a little bit quicker. We don't know much about NKU soccer, I will say, but I'm excited to learn more about it. And the main thing that I just want to go over is the schedules dropped, and they started their first days of practice like a few days ago. Like both the boys and girls, they showed up, moved into the dorms, they're working out now, starting to get things in.
Hmm.
But their schedules dropped, and that's the main thing that I wanted to go over just for a few minutes. Is just there because there is some fun matchups in here that hold on, I'm moving us out of the way so you can see the whole thing.
Okay.
But there's there is just a lot of fun matchups in here that I think people might be interested in going to that are home. Like that's the thing. It's like obviously you can see right there, right up the gate, August 15th, we get to play Thomas More, which I mean is just like I obviously some of you might not know who Thomas More is, but that's just a local college that a lot of people know that I feel
Yes.
like could be a fun like maybe thing to go out to if you're not doing anything that day. And then also we get the scrimmage against Kentucky too, which is a big thing, battle of the state. We see what we could do against them. It's just an
Right.
exhibition. It doesn't really count much towards like it doesn't count towards a record or anything, but still just maybe a fun thing to go out to. And then I love how everything's scheduled, especially, and I love the rivals that NKU is making in the Horizon League. Like, so
Hmm.
it's just whenever I see like Oakland and Cleveland State, it's like those are games you're gonna want to go to, and like
Right.
Green Bay, like just I don't know, like I think a lot of, especially if you aren't doing much and you want to get closer to the school, I would say try to go out to these games and definitely try to go out to the Horizon League games.
Yeah. It looks like they kind of had a bit of a tough season last year.
Yeah, they didn't do too great last year, but hey, we're on the come up, baby.
Yeah, the schools. I mean, the athletic program as a whole is just becoming
Mm-hmm.
so much bigger and so much more involved with the athletics and all that. I think it's gonna be fun. Like you were saying, we got so many good games on this roster. Whether it's exhibition, whether it's home games, it doesn't matter. It's gonna be a good year, and it's just fun. I mean,
Yeah,
with the rise of soccer in the U.S. right now, it's like why would you not at least try and get a little bit involved? You know?
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. That's what we're gonna try to do. Just kind of point them out. Hopefully they can turn around this year and start killing it. We'll also look at
Yeah.
this is the women's now. So they also have an exhibition against Kentucky, which
Oh, you see.
that actually happened a few days ago. I take that back.
Yes.
That happened 5 days ago. Can you look that up really quick and see
Yes, I will.
what they did? I actually didn't see that. I thought that said a 9, so I didn't actually look into it. That's on my fault. That's my part. But still,
Boo.
hey, they play UC in 3 days, another local
Yes.
game.
Yeah.
Um, which that's at home. It sucks. Louisville's away, but I mean you can still look into that. That's still a cool matchup for us. Battle of the State again.
Mm-hmm.
And then it looks like pretty much just throughout pretty much the same schedule. But like I said, it's just we play Moorhead at home, another Kentucky.
We sorry to interrupt you,
You're
but
okay.
it was 1-1 final
Whoa,
against
see,
UK.
look
So
at that. Look at that. We're competing against the big schools, dude. Like Kentucky is a big, like multi scholarship for their women's soccer, probably a lot more money than NKU puts towards it.
And you know
Things
what?
like
I'm
that.
gonna say it. Team of dogs.
Hey, I'm just
Confirmed
saying,
dogs.
we're turn like I said, we're just the whole culture turn around here. We on the come up.
Right.
I definitely think I might try to head out to both Cleveland State games because Cleveland State is just like for the men's and the
Yeah.
women's. Cleveland State's just hate them. I hate them. Like that's the point. They're becoming our rivals.
Yeah. And
And
then it's
Wright
cool.
State too.
Yeah, yeah. You get some of these matchups. I mean, the Horizon League matchups are always going to be good, no matter what sport it is. It's an intense game, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like you look at games: Eastern Kentucky, Moorhead, Youngstown, Ohio University, Miami, Kentucky, UC, Bellarmine, Louisville. It's like that's a bunch of matchups right there. That I mean, a bunch of them are within the state, but
Yeah.
then you have a few games that are like just up in Ohio. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a very fun season. I think it's. I'm definitely going to be at a couple of them games.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll end up the show here. Not obviously not cutting it off, but we'll just go run through these last two topics really quick. These are just two things that me and Matt wanted to talk about for a little bit. First thing off is Dame Lil. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, and we kind of talked about it a little bit at the show. You saw we were already getting heated on it. I just I it blows my mind if you guys don't know. Damian Lillard is definitely, I would say, would you say it's still top 10 player in the league or top 15? What would you say?
Uh,
I'd
top
say some,
15 definitely.
yeah, arguably top 10.
Yeah, it's just we haven't seen a full. I mean, well, last year he played a good amount of games last year, but he
Mm,
still missed a decent amount too. So, but dating back to his last full season, like majority season, yes, I would say he's a top 10 player.
yeah. Anyway, he has been with the Portland Trailblazers his entire career, has not done anything with
Unfortunately,
them, sadly, but is a great player and always is there for the city, always there for the team. And he requested a trade from the Portland Trailblazers. And everyone thought that he was going to be, not everyone, but there was a lot of speculation that there might be some trades happening draft night to either help him or trade him away. And nothing happened draft night. Then people were thinking after the Blazers took Scoot with the second pick
yeah,
that was going to be it and that Dame was 100% going to be traded. But then Damian Lillard came out and said that he wanted to stay with Portland because he wanted to play with Scoot and that they were going to build something big. But then now apparently Damian Lillard and them aren't talking anymore. And it's just like, then Damian Lillard said he wanted to go to Miami and that was like a done deal. But then Miami can't make a deal. It blows my mind. Like it
yeah.
literally is theatrical right now in the NBA. And it's just like, I don't know I haven't even looked like, well, how much is left on his contract? Like what, like, is he
I
a
want to
free
say he's
agent
got
anytime soon?
3 years left or something like that.
Let me
I don't
see.
know. I can look it up real quick if you want me to.
Yeah, I got it. I'm looking at it pretty quick. I don't, because that's the thing is like, so signed a 4 year. So 2025 is his last year.
Okay.
Like so
It's
2024 to 2025 season. So he's
it's
got two
player
more years left.
exercised.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I just
And he's gonna be 34. Damn.
it's just so
I forgot
sad.
he was
Like,
that old.
bro. But like that's the thing, dude. He's been with Portland his entire career, dude. Like I just wish something like I wish it would have turned out differently for him. Like it
Yeah.
just I don't know. Like it's honestly crazy because it starts making me think about it. Like just kind of going on a spiel a little bit. This is why I wanted to talk about this mainly. Is like it kind of was just making me think like Damian Lillard has been in my life. Like I've always thought he was top 15, top 10 player in the league for the past 8 years at least. And it's just like he has no accomplishments, but he has stayed home, like stayed hardy to the Portland Trailblazers and stayed there, has not given up on them.
All right.
And it's like it's made me think like how many players have been like this before that have been forgotten. You know what I mean? That are only like kind of legends. Like is he so like
Yeah.
in 30 years down the road, are our kids gonna talk about Damian Lillard or is it only gonna be Portland Trailblazers fans that talk about Damian Lillard?
I think it's gonna be a whole lot like Clyde Drexler.
Yeah, like Clyde or like no, Carl Malone kind of is a more household name. But yeah, Clyde's probably a
Not for the right
better.
reasons.
Yeah, but Clyde, yeah, Clyde probably is a better comparison there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I love Dame. I mean, he's a great guy. Uh, and like he's a great guy. Obviously, he's a great basketball player, but it's just like I don't I feel bad for him because he has played ridiculously in some of these playoff series. But it's also like, why would you keep signing these extensions?
I know.
It's like
Well,
it's just like Bradley Beal.
I
It
know.
pisses me off because I'm like, leave. Like people, I don't care what your thought process is. People are always like, oh, well, loyalty means a lot. You don't go in the Hall of Fame for loyalty.
Yeah,
You
that
go in
is
the Hall of Fame
true.
for accomplishments.
That's
So
what I. It's like I feel like he's lost. Like he is a definitely Hall of Fame caliber player, but with everything that he's done in his career, like he's not anymore.
no, it's just like I don't know. I want him to go somewhere like I think Miami would be dope. I think Miami would be super cool. But
I
it's like,
agree.
but I if I'm Miami, I'm not sending over all this crap just to get a 4 or 5 year rental on Dame.
hmm
With an Eastern Conference that is slowly becoming better and better with the
hmm
Celtics and the Bucks and possibly the Sixers, depending on what happens with Harden. And but I mean, you still got Maxey there, anyways. There's just so much competition in the East, and it's like even if you go to the final, oh, sorry about that. Even if you do go to the finals with him, there's no promise that like you're gonna win because the West is still ridiculously good. I don't know. It's just I wanted to show you this meme real quick because I'm sure you've probably seen it. Um, it's the one that says how it started, how it's going. And it's got rookie year Dame and current day Dame. One time rookie of the year. This was his rookie year. One time rookie of the year, zero MVP, zero scoring titles or assist titles, zero conference finals championships, and no finals appearances. Beard not grown. How it's going. One time rookie of the year, zero time MVP, zero scoring titles, zero assist titles, zero conference finals championships, zero finals appearances. Beard grown. And it's like it's funny, but it's also just like kind of sad because
I
like
know.
he hasn't done. I mean, I don't want to say he hasn't done shit. He hasn't been able to do anything in his career.
hmm I just like that's the thing. So you say Clyde, but Clyde's a Hall of Famer. Like Clyde made the Hall of
Yeah,
Fame. So, but the
but he
thing is,
also went to the finals.
yeah, but I think if Damian Lillard does not at least make it to a final, I don't think he's winning.
No,
I don't think he's going to the Hall of Fame. It's just sad because he was such an electric player. Like, dude, he's one of the most athletic players in the league for a while, and it's just like loyalty kills you sometimes. Like, it's just crazy how in
yeah,
sports, like, yeah, loyalty, you want to be loyal to your fans and stuff, but like, man, could you imagine if he would have left 5 years ago and played somewhere else in his prime?
right.
Like,
I
imagine
mean,
how much different the league would have been.
it's just like Anthony Davis. Like people can
Mm-hmm.
hate AD being on the Lakers all they want, but like if he had stayed in New Orleans, yeah. Do you feel Anthony Davis is on track to be a Hall of Famer right now?
He needs to play more, dude. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, I
that's
think
true. Yeah,
statistically he is good. Statistically, yes, he has two. No, not two. He has like he has the finals win now, but he, I mean, he has been competing in the playoffs. He's always a good double. He's always averaging a double double. He's pretty dominant, but it's like he hasn't been. He is dominant when he's on the floor, but he's not on the floor enough. You know what I mean? To
right.
where it, like,
Yeah,
in my opinion, it makes a huge presence. Like to where it's like, man, that guy is a Hall of Famer. He is game. I think it is. I think Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis might be closer than Damian Lillard to
that's
being
what
a
I'm
Hall of
saying.
Famer. Yeah.
Is if Anthony Davis had stayed in New Orleans, he had less of a chance of being in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yes.
But
Oh,
he had to
100%.
go to the Lakers and win that
Mm-hmm.
championship, and now it's like he might. I mean, he's still got stuff to prove, but he's gone to multiple Western Conference Finals now. He's been in the playoffs a lot. He won a title. He, he's a double double machine. Rookie. No, he wasn't rookie of the year. My bad, because Dame was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just like I don't know. Unless if you don't win a title, if you stay with the team and you're like 20 when you get drafted, 19, 20 years old, if you don't win a title by the time you're 26, 27, you got to
Mm-hmm.
go. I feel. because you spent damn near 10 years there, and you're getting close to the prime of your career. And it's even worse for Dame because it's like, if you've been there for that long and still have not seen your team do anything for you, why would you stay?
I know. I don't. I just it's all about loyalty and it's all about building a family there probably and just like I don't know. He's probably too like heartfelt like to just be able to like turn away and like leave them. You know what I mean? Like I feel
Right.
like he feels like he has to stay there.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so we'll end it with this. What do you think your final prediction is for Dame? Do you think he stays at Portland this year, or do you think he's traded by the end of this year?
I think if they find a partner, he will be traded. I do not think they will find a partner.
So you think he's gonna stay in Portland the
I
rest
think
of
he
the?
will. I think he will begin the season in Portland. I don't know if he will stay there for the whole season. I don't know if I can give you that answer yet. I
Okay,
do think he will begin the season with Portland.
so I agree with you. I think he will begin the season with Portland. I think he will get hurt early on in the season and then just not come back until he's traded. And I think that he's going to
Right.
basically demand a trade. And at that point, when they're like, okay, we're paying this dude not to play on the court. And he's just going to keep saying that he's hurt, though. But they're going to know that he's bullshitting them. So I
Everyone
think
will.
he's just going to be petty. And I think
Right.
he's just going to be there until they trade him. And I think he'll be traded by the deadline.
Yep.
Who
Yep.
knows how soon, though. But I don't know what team, man. I don't know. I could see it being crazy. I could see his team coming out of nowhere and just stealing him. You know what I mean? Like I could feel like it could get so bad to where the Trailblazers are just want him gone. Like they're just
Yeah.
like, fine, we're done, and they just accept the worst deal. But who knows? All right, last topic of the day. There's a beauty of a fight. Literally, like great,
Yeah.
like just like one of the best. I don't know. Like it's just who doesn't love a fight in baseball? Like it's
Yeah.
just like it's literally, I don't know. I hope you all have seen the clip. If you haven't, please go look it up right now. Basically, Jose Ramirez slides into second base. He doesn't like how Tim Anderson taps him, thinks he tags him out a little bit too hard.
Kind of stands
So
over him.
yeah, so J Ram kind of stands up and gives him a little shove, and Tim Anderson drops the glove. Tim Anderson, the guy in the black hat and the gray jersey, the one who's getting swung at, um, he was the one who dropped his glove and put his paws up and started wanting to fight with Jose Ramirez. And Jose Ramirez dropped him, literally completely lifelessly on the ground. And it was just one of the greatest clips I've ever seen in my life. It's literally like it made me chuckle immediately and it made me just like I already watched it multiple times.
Yep. If you do go watch it, you have to watch the Tom Hamilton broadcast of it because
Mm-hmm.
that is single-handedly one of the best pieces of media I've ever seen in my entire life. Ever.
Down goes Anderson.
Down goes Anderson. Down goes Anderson.
It's literally like I just like it's not even a baseball like a baseball person at that point. Like it's just like it turned into a
Anyone.
boxing announcer.
Yeah. I guess you've probably seen the jokes about it. The Jake Paul, who needs to fight him next? J
Jose
Ram.
Ramirez, yes. J Ram
It's
baby.
gonna be a good one. Did you see Anderson get all up in his feelings about it too?
Yeah, and
Posting shit about
freaking
it.
tweet and all that stuff, even though he stood up and like wobbled off the field. I loved that too. I like he like stood up and like all of his teammates were helping him. He was like, "Nah, man, I don't need help." And then he
Yeah.
starts like
Yeah.
stumbling over, and everybody else comes and help him. I don't know. It was just funny.
Yeah. That dude was gone.
My biggest deal for this entire thing is though was the referee. I don't know if you paid attention to the referee at all.
Oh,
When
he
this
moved.
happened, or the ump, that's the thing. Because I don't know if in baseball they're trained, but I know in the NFL and in the NBA, the refs are trained that if when there's a fight, you need to get in the middle and split it up. Like they're just trained to do that. Like you need to be the one to split it up. Whereas in hockey, like obviously they let them fight for a minute or two, and that literally reminded me of a hockey fight. Like the ref literally was like, "Okay, you guys can fight it
Yeah.
out for a second." Then like after Anderson hit the ground is when the refs kind of got in and split it
Yeah.
up. But I thought it was funny how the ump was just like backing up, and I honestly, I don't know. The thing that I think about this is I'm just happy because these two are division rivals and they're friends too. Like Tim Anderson and Jose Ramirez have had friendships and stuff like that before. And I just love how much fire is under the players right now during the regular season. That's the biggest thing that I'm taking from this is that like the fact that they are going to fight each other and do this in the regular season, like right now, and it's like because we haven't seen a fight in a while. Like yeah, fights happen here and there, but it's like these two teams aren't that good per se. And the fact that they're getting enough fire under their skin to want to fight like this, I don't know, just makes me excited for baseball. And I hope more teams are kind of getting a flair like this.
Yeah, it was very interesting to watch, and it was like you were saying, it was fun for baseball. I mean, I think that baseball's just had a whole revitalization this year, and people can say what they want. Fighting is always fun to watch, no
I
matter
know.
what sport it is. Always fun to watch. So, of course, when there's a baseball fight, those are the best. Like, maybe not the best, but they are one of the best because everyone just starts fighting each other out in the middle of the field. So, yeah, it was awesome. It was
Yeah,
the best fight that night, like we said.
And I'm glad that Anderson got to I'm glad Anderson got knocked. Hold on, your mic's like knocking a little bit.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, it's okay. I just heard that. I was just sorry. I didn't want to.
No, it's
We'll
fine.
cut.
I was tapping it. I didn't know if you could hear it.
Yeah, I'll cut that out. I'll just like cut that. I'll let it cut. But I don't know. I think it's all good for the game of baseball, and I hope that it brings more fans to baseball because baseball is my favorite sport, and I think baseball is better than ever this year, even though the Reds have started to suck again. But yeah. we can talk about that on a different day. But I just hope baseball as a general can keep going on the upward and not start trending downwards again.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you there. All right. Well, got any other topics you want to talk about? Nothing like that?
No, man, I think we're good. I think we covered everything we wanted to cover. Thanks everybody for listening. If you stayed this entire time, I had a ton of fun. We had a smile on our face the entire time. We hope that it put a smile on your face while you're listening to some of our stuff.
If you stayed this entire time, comment on the clip that we post from this. Honey butter chicken biscuit.
Yes,
has no correlation with the episode at all. But just comment that because I just thought of that.
Honey butter chicken biscuit.
Yes. I also want to. I'm not correlated with this brand at all, nor do we have a deal. But Lazy Butt Club. I'm reaching.
That is awesome.
We gotta get this as a sponsor because their clothes are money.
I want to see if I can zoom you in at all. Oops, I'm messing it all up now. Yeah, bring the hat closer.
Got some crazy hair going on today, guys.
Beautiful. There it is. Oh yeah, I love that hat, dude.
Lazy Butt Club. If you guys are watching this video,
please sponsor our butt.
Over some stuff. We would love to get a sponsorship going on.
I would love to wear a big shirt that says "butt" on it.
Yeah, I think that'd be sick. They got stuff with sharks on it too. I follow them, so. But yeah, I just want to say that real quick. And if you guys are watching this and you think, man, that hat's pretty cool, go buy
it. Go buy it. Even though we're not sponsored, just go buy it.
Just go buy one anyways.
Go do it. Yeah, why not? Just go help out a business.
Yes. Yeah. Well, like you said, Colton, thank you guys for watching this. Episode 2 of many to come.
Amen.
All right. Have a great rest of your day, and adios.
Bye-bye.